Let me introduce you to Ajay Jameson, who is a brand new, young, talented, multi-talented singer who's been signed to Sony Music India. Lovely set of people there. And this guy's effectively starting out on his musical journey. But what's so interesting about it, the reason why I wanted to chat to him is because, you know, we talk about the fusion thing all the time. We talk about the East-West combo. Is it, you know, people making Indian music with a Western vibe or Western music with an Indian vibe, and how does that work? Well, here's a guy, like a lot of people who are going to be listening to this podcast, who want to make their music, who want to start off their sound, which is a fusion of their world. And it's all going on for this guy because, yeah, he's South Indian, but he's been living in Canada for years. He sings in 5 different languages. He's kind of got R&B and hip hop and soul running through him. You know, with the different languages, my thing was, can it work? Can you really sing in Telugu or Malayalam and expect it to cross over worldwide? And then you think about the whole BTS Korean pop thing, and we started chatting about all that and thought, you know, who would have thought that would have worked on a global level? So here's a young talent. And, you know, I've interviewed young talent before with like people like your Divines and Nazis and people like that. And who would have thought that Indian rap would have gone on to become the thing that it became? So there was a weird little feeling I had running through this chat. And it was just that I think this guy's going to be really big. I don't know why. I'm not a talent spotter at all. I'm rubbish at trying to read situations and people. But it just made me think, this could be the guy. This could be the guy that takes not only South Indian culture and music and the language and the sound to a pop global level, but maybe just Indians in general. Or maybe he makes Canada more famous to South Indians. I don't know. I just thought he was a lovely boy. He's a really lovely lad. And I hope you enjoy the chat. Here is a young, talented musician, singer, composer, producer. He does a bit of everything. Starting out on his journey. And I think he might be quite big time. His name is Ajay Jameson, and he's on the Tommy Sandhu podcast. Look at that, bang on time, sat there ready. You're like you're like a good student, Ajay Jameson. Good student.
I don't think I was a good student, but thank you.
Hey, you're top of the Sandhu class. But I'm a bit like that supply teacher. You know, the one that comes in when the real teachers are off, and like you know. And you're like, oh, we don't really have to do any work today. This guy looks a little bit drunk. He looks a little bit drunk. You know, what's going on?
My God, yeah.
No, good to see you. Are you well? How are you today?
I'm doing. I'm in Vancouver right now, Vancouver, Canada.
God, amazing. Firstly, one of the most beautiful places in the world. But also, the reason why I rolled my eyes, I swear, I kid you not, I have to do this now because I knew you were Canadian. I didn't know you were Vancouver Canadian. Am I allowed to? I can do this. I suppose it doesn't matter. I am currently talking to. Look, this is an email from 40 minutes ago to someone called Tyler at the 3 Bars Guest Ranch in British Columbia. Do you know it?
No.
Okay,
but that's in BC too, eh?
Right. It's the #1 rated dude ranch or you know, like a ranching holiday place in Vancouver in Canada actually. And it's rated in the top 4 across North America, and I'm trying to book it for a holiday for next year because my son's mad about horses, and we're coming to Canada for a wedding, and as always, being Indian, I have to make the most of all these trips.
That is awesome.
I mean, seriously, what a beautiful part of the world you live in.
It is really nice, and it's super close to Seattle too. Like everything's close by, like beaches, mountains, like forests. Like you have everything in front of you. It's so amazing. Like I'm so glad I'm here.
So with all that inspiration, you thought, I know, I'm gonna sing South Indian music. What? Like you went? What happened?
Well, I grew up in Kerala, which is from like south, and I moved to Canada like seven years ago. That's when I moved to Canada, so not a very long time. So I'm not. Yeah.
But you got the accent, like not a very long time. You know, you got the flavor.
I lived in a place where it was predominantly white people, so I didn't have a choice. I had to keep up with them.
Oh, hold a minute. You thought by putting on the voice, they wouldn't see the face. Is that what you thought?
Not really, not really. I think I pick up languages and accents pretty well, which
Oh,
is one thing.
really?
Yeah, yeah. So I grew up in South, and I was always exposed to like music from other parts, and like I don't know, at least people from like Kerala. I think we watch movies in all languages. I can't say the same for other people, but yeah, I used to watch Tamil movies. I used to watch Telugu movies. I used to watch Bollywood movies. So I was always, interested in all these languages, and I wanted to try singing in a bunch of languages and see like how I would sound.
So yeah. So do you think that must help? The reason why you sing in what five languages now? I've lost count. So I mean,
Yeah,
what other
yeah.
languages you sing? I'll let you list them. You sing in English,
So
obviously.
English, Hindi, Malayalam, Tamil, and Telugu. And
Right.
I don't know. I like to try different languages. The other day I was actually recording like a Korean song.
What song?
A Korean?
Oh,
Yeah.
right, cool. That
Yeah.
market. That's actually fun. Okay, now that you touched on that, let's talk about that because the Korean market is interesting. Firstly, Korean movies,
Mhm.
Korean fashion, Korean everything, TikToks and technology and items and products, Korean cars. All of a sudden, like even around for me, the Kia cars are everywhere,
Oh yeah.
like
Yeah.
electric cars. And I'm like, there's a bit of a Korean takeover. And if you had said, say, I don't know, 20 years ago, 10 years ago,
Mhm.
that is going to be the biggest boy band in the world is going to be Korean and K-pop and all this kind of stuff is going to be going on. You won't believe it. You won't believe it. You just want you
No,
had
no.
no. So does that give you? Is that a little bit of hope? And not hope. Is that like just goes to show you can be a pop star in Telugu or any other
Mhm.
language that you might want to from a South Indian because you can maybe understand someone saying, well, obviously, a Bollywood star or singer, a Hindi singer could cross over
Mhm.
with the amount of people that speak Hindi all around over the world or the
Mhm.
way in which Bollywood transcends. But you wouldn't necessarily say that about South Indian music, not necessarily. But
Yeah.
does this show you, I don't know, anything's possible nowadays?
Yeah, exactly. Because I've I think for me to like dream higher, like I had to like see people like being successful because I wasn't always exposed to that. So I like if you watch Squid Game, there's that Indian guy. So like definitely he's such an inspiration. Like he moved to Korea like 10 years ago and like he learned the language and then he's in one of the biggest shows in the world, right? And so it is always like an inspiration for me. And I think times are changing. Like if your work is good enough, you could do well in any part of the country, any part of the world. I think
Yeah.
definitely.
And people would be open to it. But then, I mean, okay, K-pop, a lot of the songs are kind of sung in, are they sung in English now? Or what I mean, the
It's a
BTS
mix of
guys,
both. Yeah,
right.
it's a mix of both. Yeah.
So what do you think it is that makes that work from a young person's perspective? I mean, I'm past all that now, right? So like I'm not
Hmm.
going to go, oh my God, it's BTS. And if I did, it'd be a little bit worrying if I was screaming after them. But like,
Yeah.
why does that work? Why has that work? Okay, I can see they're handsome looking guys and all that, but what else?
I think it's because probably like the Korean market. I think like even the movies and like K-pop and the shows have taken over the world. Like with like from when you're a kid, I know a lot of people that watches all these stuff. So it has been able to get into the market, like an international market. So more people are like into it. So once they put out Korean songs, I think it's like an automatic, oh, I like Korean. Like they just get naturally like inclined to it, you know? Uh
So in that way, do you think maybe we've just been limited all this time with all the music media? There's been a kind of uniflow, I don't know what the word is, of media coming from the West, coming from Hollywood, coming from studios in LA and New York or wherever, and not from the other way. And now it's just bounce back time.
It is, yeah, definitely, because times are changing, and I think people are more open to a lot of stuff from all over the world, especially like if you see the rise of K-pop. or like even now, I don't think Indian music is at that level at this point, but it's definitely getting there.
Yeah.
Because if you see Tesha right now with the song Jalebi Baby, and he did a song with Jason Derulo, so that's huge. So I definitely see people opening up themselves to a lot of music from different cultures, right?
And I think there's something about Canada as well. Canada's like a perfect kind of melding pot,
Mhm.
where it all just seems to come together for so many people who can. I mean, it's just funny you say, about Tesha there. Obviously, who's Canadian, yourself Canadian. I know, like Raghav sings in Hindi and in English very successfully. He can
Mhm.
do both convincingly. It's not like when I speak Punjabi, you can hear that I'm British. It's like, oh hello, me no pata si. It just sounds like like
Uh,
people see through it. Whereas they do it. Janita Gandhi, another
mhm.
brilliant Canadian cross, again multiple languages again with
Yeah,
her.
and
Oh,
even like
there's something in your
this,
water over there, man.
yeah, totally. Because there's this other girl from Vancouver too, and she sings for A.R. Rahman now. Her name is Sasha
Okay.
Tirupati or something. Yeah, so she sings in all the languages now too. So it is. I think you get to, because Canada is super multicultural. You get to learn from a lot, especially for me at least. When I went to university and stuff, I had the opportunity to like uh, talk and interact with a lot of people from all over the world, and I got exposed to a lot of music. Like I had Nigerian friends, I had like Latino friends. So like whenever I go hang out with them, they're like, "Dude, check this song out." And I'm like, "Oh, that's super cool." So I'm like, I try to like take learn from it, learn from all of them, and then take whatever I can and like learn from different cultures. And I'm also very interested in like learning languages. I'm not really good at a lot of languages, but still, I love
But I mean,
languages.
yeah, and actually, you probably don't even realize it's going in. Like when I think back to my child, teenagehood, which is what would have influenced the way you're making music now in your early 20s. You're not kind of going, oh, that's right. I'll consume some Afro beats and I'll consume some hip hop and
Mhm,
R&B and bhangra and this. It's just all kind of going in. And then if you're an artist, which you clearly are, it just comes out. It's like
mhm,
you've thrown all these things into the pot, and then we'll see what flavor the dish comes out. And it might be rubbish, or it might be amazing. And if you've got the talent, it's clearly amazing. Because I mean,
exactly.
I'm listening to your stuff is, okay. Again, this is like an untrained ear, and I never pretend to be like a music head. I just love music. I love cinema. I love film, but I love it from a consumer perspective. I don't want to learn
Mhm,
it. I don't want to. Oh, like he made his middle eight this, and he did this to his,
mhm,
the structure of music. I just want to kind of go, did I like it? Did it work? That's what I mean. I remember going crazy about why this Golaveri D when it came out, because
mhm,
I'm like, I don't know why I like this, but that even I just like that that kind of noise that they had in it. I was
mhm,
like, I love that sound, and the beat was spongy. It was just like,
mhm.
it just worked.
It's
So in
automatic.
the
It's
same
about, yeah.
right, so in the same way, your music's got this kind of bouncy, floaty feel to it, but it's like, how do I say this? It's like you're riding your rhythm of it. It's not hard on the beat. It's I don't know. Is that a conscious thing, or what is your singing style? What is your musical style? Is there one?
I'm still trying to figure it out, but if I have to pick genres that I love, it'll have to be like soul, R&B,
Mm.
gospel, and pop. But every time I record something, because I produce all the music for my covers and stuff, I try to make it easy to listen to, and
That's right.
I also want a bit that stays in people's head. So I always try to get that. So like people are like, oh, I love that part. I need to go back and listen to it.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a lot of trial and error of where I want to go. So like every song I do, I think it sounds different. It's not the same like before. So every time I'm trying to improve and I'm trying to put some kind of sauce in it that people are like, oh, I want to go back and listen to it. And
Yeah.
I still think I'm in the process of trying to find my sound, because I do write originals and stuff, but I just don't think it's ready to be put out yet. But that might happen soon. But it's also like trial and error. Like I try to make a pop song, R&B song, and see what I can do with it. So yeah, I don't know. I just like to experiment with a bunch of styles, I think. At least for
But how honest? That's so honest of you, and so aware at your young age to kind of go. Because so people, nowadays you have to be so sure. What's your style? Where is it? Even me,
Mhm.
as a presenter, where should we place him? Is he funny? Is he property? Is he, what kind of shows do I want to do? Is it quiz shows, game shows, quirky show? Like
Mhm.
people want to put you somewhere. And I think with a South Indian guy living in Canada, sings in 5 languages, all these multicultural influences running through you, and particularly with Canada, Canada is a place that really does accept multiculturalism, which is
Yeah.
beautiful, and
Mhm.
I mean fully accept it, embrace it, allow people to be it
Mhm.
and any version of it, whatever
Yeah.
it is that they want to be.
Some of the nicest people in the planet.
Ah, I,
Yeah.
I know, and it's funny because I was speaking to Canadian people. They go, it's only you Brits that are obsessed with. So where are you from? No, Brad, but where are you from? From? I mean, I don't mean like London. Where are
Mhm.
you from? From is what they always want to know. But the rest of them are like, it's almost like Canada embraces it and loves it. But he, I think you kind of It's brilliant that you kind of at this stage kind of gone. No, it's cool. I'm working it out. And I think that's for a creative, that's the best place to be. Like, just
Exactly.
this is your time to play, isn't it? Are you enjoying
Mhm.
it?
I am. It gets frustrating at some points, but I think I know that's part of the deal. But like you feel so happy when something works out, and there's a lot of possibilities for many things to work out, at least for now. Because I'm just trying different stuff out. Like I tried to write a song like Ariana Grande, which sounded kind of like hers the other day. I was like, this actually sounds cool. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get into that. But I also love the idea of mixing Indian stuff with Western music as well. So no, definitely.
Well, that surely, well, firstly, if you don't, and again, I know you know this, but that's been happening for 20, 30 years now, particularly that
Mhm.
crossover, particularly for Brits, because the Bhangra scene was doing it in the kind of 80s, getting into the 90s, and then 90s they really went for it and started mashing things up on cassette tapes with
Mhm.
R&B and hip hop loops and all this stuff, and you'd hear woo ha from Busta Rhymes coming in over Bhangra songs, and everyone would go. And I remember hearing it for the first time. I remember hearing a DJ mix the Punjabi MC Mundi Ota Bachkare, his
Mhm.
Night Rider thing, mix it live, and it was going out a bit because I was just getting to DJ. I thought, oh, he hasn't quite timed that up, but that works. And then soon after the song came out, and then soon after it was everywhere and all that. So like that has happened, but now it's happening I suppose in a different way. It's not just about, oh, I
Mhm.
know, let's just change languages. You kind of change. You're fusing kind of like I said, it's a structure of how you write
Mhm.
and the rhythms and the flow. So it's kind of I can see how it's all evolved on, but almost I want to say Ajay. Is it Ajay or AJ? What do you get called?
I get called AJ a lot, but it's Ajay.
Yeah.
But it is
What do
what
you
it
feel?
is. Like at this point, I don't really care. I love AJ because my initials are AJ too.
Oh, okay, there you go. Okay, well, I'll try
Yeah,
and stick with
yeah,
that because I
yeah.
always feel like I'm being a bit of a sellout by going, oh, AJ, like saying it in an English accent. But, okay, AJ, then I can stick with that for you. So I forgot what my whole point was, but I suppose, yeah, it's harder for you, AJ. So I was going to say it's harder
Mhm,
for this generation
mhm,
because you can't just kind of go, oh, I know, I'll just sing my song, but I'll put a sitar over it, or I'll just sing my song and put a hip hop beat over it.
mhm.
It's more intertwined than that, isn't it?
It is definitely because even like other now pop artists are doing that too. Because if you listen to one of those Selena Gomez songs, they have like tabla and all that. So it's definitely like something you have to explore more. I think, especially as an Indian artist trying to fuse it. You cannot just put something on and put a tabla on top and then hope it takes off. But no, because I personally think it takes a lot of like thinking and planning out and experimenting because there's a lot of instruments that you can use and like you said like structuring the song to make it work, right? Because you're not just targeting like the Indian audience. Like if you want to get the attention of people abroad, you have to give something for them too. So I
Yeah.
think it's the process is it teaches you a lot, and you learn a lot, but it is worthwhile, like investing your time in.
Yeah.
So definitely something I enjoy doing.
Well, it will be worthwhile. I mean, more than worthwhile, because actually, similarly to the whole K-pop thing, again, you've now
Mhm.
drawn that comparison. It's sticking in my mind. When things light up for South Indian audiences, my lord, do your people go crazy for it? I mean, come on,
Yeah.
South Indian.
Mhm.
If there is that, I mean, I know across all a lot of Indian audiences and even North Indian audiences, if things are big, they're big. But when you're big down south, you're big down south. You know what I mean? It's
Oh
like,
yeah.
so
Especially.
it's like you're just trying to get that little flint. But
Mhm.
that's happened for you already. I mean, you're known amongst your community, as it were, the South Indian scene.
I think so. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened was, like, I used to record all the time. So I started posting stuff online, and then some of them actually went viral, I think. And then people started noticing me. And then I happened to sing in a movie a year or two ago. That was back home too, which was pretty cool because I've always wanted to, like, that was my goal once, like, I was growing up. So that happened
Yeah.
out of nowhere. And yeah, people have been receiving my songs well. Uh, and yeah, it is definitely exciting because, like, growing up, I always wanted to be a cricketer.
Oh,
But yeah,
wow.
yeah, yeah. So I
Bowler,
used to play.
batsman. What are you?
I
What were
used to
you?
be an all rounder.
Right.
Yeah, I used to be
Okay.
part of a cricket academy, so I was in, like, hostel and stuff while I was in, like, middle school, and then I got injured, so I had to stop. But I've always had music, and then I met some amazing people along the way, and then I was like, yeah, I don't think I want to do anything else. And
Oh,
yeah, yeah, singing. I got into music production as well, and I was like, this is pretty cool. I actually enjoy doing it, and I'm glad my parents were on board too.
that's and again, firstly, your parents must have been so chuffed when they heard your song in a film, like because if that happened so early on in your career, how did that
Mhm.
go down with the aunties and the uncles? I mean, who was messaging who and who you're hearing from? That always feels good.
It did. It totally did. But the only thing was, it was a song in Malayalam. I was
Okay.
in Canada, so I couldn't experience it fully. I just wish I was in India at that point. But I don't think my mom went and saw the film. She was too busy, I guess. But my dad
Oh
did.
wow.
He didn't tell anyone, and, like, he went and saw the film, and, like, he was super proud. He didn't even tell me. He told my sister. That's how I found out. But it was definitely super nice to hear from a lot of people about how they liked the song too.
Why
And
didn't he tell you? Why didn't your dad tell you that he went and saw the movie? What's
you
that
know
about?
how you know how Indian dads are. They're just too proud to say that they love you. I love the stuff they do,
Yeah.
or you do, I
It-
guess.
and also, I don't know about you, and I'm going to just say, because again, the reason why I asked the question is because I know why dads do it. They just almost like, we don't need to talk about it. We don't need to mention that he's in a movie. I'll just go see it on the low key myself, and then I'll
Yeah,
just kind of take that moment in.
yeah.
But that, I mean, I'm telling you now, as a father myself, to two young boys, and that's going to be a moment for him. Are they
Mhm.
in Canada with you now? So who's there? What's the setup?
So my sister and family's here. My parents visit. They're actually visiting in a few days. So I think they'll be here Wednesday, and they'll be here for a while. So that is super exciting. I haven't seen them in a while. So
How long? How long have you not seen him for?
well, I did go back 2020, right before COVID, and I
Oh,
got
okay.
back right before everything got shut down. So yeah, a year and a half, I would say.
Coming to nearly 2 years. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
To not see your parents for nearly 2 years. So, if you don't mind me saying, I take it your sister's settled there in Canada. Is that right? And you're living with her?
Yeah.
Right.
I used to live in another city. So I used to live in Alberta. That's a province here in Canada. And I lived there for 6 years, 6.5. And then I recently just moved down to Vancouver. That's where she is. So currently I'm at her place. Uh, and I'm hoping to move out soon. But it's nice to have family, Because
I think it's so key, and I think particularly when you're, like you said, you're finding yourself, you're finding your music, you're finding your style. You are still so young, but look, you're signed to Sony. It's not. There's no mucking around there. They're an awesome bunch of people. I
that
know.
is
No, but I know the Sony India team, and I know how much they care. I've seen the new talent come through Sony from everyone from,
Mhm.
Divine, who would have thought a rapper, a rapper from Mumbai would be worldwide, and
Mhm.
he is. Badshah, and all the other various singers.
All these people,
So
yeah.
it's a great springboard. It's a great platform. It's a great family to be a part of. So that's now happening. Like you are signed to a major label. You are now, what's going on right now? Is it like a right? Is it time to work, AJ? Is it like, no, I need to relax. I want to enjoy it. I'm just
Mhm.
taking every moment as it. What are you feeling? What's going through you?
So the whole thing came out of nowhere. So I was actually at a crossroad. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing music, but I don't know where I'm going with it. And then that's when Sony came through, and they're such an amazing group of people to work with. Like I've loved every bit of it so far. So yeah, when I first got the message, I was like, are they for real? Like,
Yeah, prank. It's a
is that
prank
because
call.
yeah, that's crazy. Like I was hesitant to like even like message back, but then like we started having meetings and then all the talking, and then it suddenly hit me, right? Like all the work you put in is slowly starting to gain rewards, and it was unbelievable. Like I didn't know what to think of it because at like few days before I was like, I don't know where I'm standing, and now I'm having a deal with Sony, and ever since then it's actually motivated me to put in more work in all the areas because right now I do all the video and audio and everything, so it is a lot of work, but it's something that I really love doing, so I wouldn't change any of it.
But it's funny how, and I'm always interested in almost your kind of the work mindset, because this is a passion. Like the same way for me. What
Mhm.
I'm doing right now is my passion, is my love. I love music, and it turned from DJing to presenting to voiceover to various other shows that I'm now working across. So it's lovely. It's all the things I love, but you have to kind of employ a work mindset to it now, because it just got serious. It just got
Yeah,
real.
now
It's
I
now
have
gonna pay.
deadlines.
Right. Then, and it's going
Yeah.
to pay bills, and there's other people
Mhm.
involved, there's other investment. So that thing that you're trying to make it in now, friends of AJ or people who went to school with you, back
Mhm.
in Kerala or even in Alberta, as you say, will go,
Mhm.
hey, do you hear about AJ? Do you hear about him? Well, what's that? He's signed to flipping Sony. Like the guy who played cricket with us is now, that all of that is going on, and it's exciting, but I think you can go one or two ways. I think it's now time to go,
Mhm.
okay, it's time to go as you Canadians do, put the snow tires on. We're going off road.
Yeah.
We're gonna step this up a notch. So,
Mhm.
who's there for you, family? Or who's there? Who's your buddy? Because I think you need a close set of people. Not many. You need a nice tight set to get you through that. Who's there for you?
Totally, yeah. I have my family here, my sister, they're a huge support, but I do have a bunch of amazing friends that who does music as well. And I have this guy who I met first day of university because he was the only brown person there, and I stalked him. I ran after him. I was like, "Hey, dude!" And then ever since then, baby, he's like my big brother. That's literally what happened.
What, you ran
And
after him to make a
I
friend?
did, I totally did. I was like, hey, and like we're still amazing friends. He's like my big brother. We were roommates after
Talk,
that for like
talk me through the words as you come running up to a guy, like was this on campus or at the college or wherever at school?
yeah. So what happened was, so I was new. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how everything worked. I didn't know anyone. So I was still trying to figure stuff out. So I was in a music history class, my first day of classes, I think. And the first thing the prof played was an Indian song. Like literally, it was like a drone music, something like that. And then I was sitting in the front, this guy was sitting in the back. And then the prof asked something, he answered. I looked back and then I was like, it was like eye contact. He looked at me too. It was like a Bollywood movie. So like, and then like we didn't talk. And then after the class, because I didn't know anyone, I was like, I ran after him to the stairs. I was like, hey bro, hey, my name is this and that, and then we instantly connected, and like we ended up having a bunch of mutual friends because he grew up in Bahrain,
Okay.
and which was crazy because like I
So
think I know
how do you have mutual friends if he grew up in Bahrain?
like I think there's a lot of people from Kerala there who were his
Oh,
friends, who were my friends in the music industry too. I don't know how it worked out, but we had a bunch of mutual friends, and it was just crazy. And like ever since then, he's been through everything. We were roommates for like 5 years, and he's such
wow.
an amazing producer and like musician, and we're part of a band too. So,
Isn't that weird, AJ? In a way, isn't that like that make you think like that was so meant to be? That little connection. I always think that's what's great about when you find your thing and you go and study your thing. You'll always,
mhm,
you meet like-minded people, but you not only met
mhm.
you met almost a person living a bit of a parallel life.
Yeah, that is crazy because like the timing and like the place too, right? Like we were not in a big town, and he
Mm,
had recently moved there too. So
yeah.
it's crazy how things work out, and I think it is important that you have people like that in your life. And to think that it happened in that way is actually kind of scary and crazy.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm glad I have all these people around.
No, I love it. You know what I love about these kind of conversations? Why I like to talk to people like yourself. Like I've still got the video of when we interviewed Divine and Nazy when Mehdi
Mhm.
Gullymet just came out, and they got the baby face, Nazy with his little cheeks and little baby face cheeks, and I'm still friends with them now. And they're just freestyling and they're rapping and all that kind of stuff. And then how quickly life can change and move on, and things can
Mhm.
explode, and it just will for you. I can
Mhm.
feel it.
Thanks.
You're a lovely guy. You obviously you love what you do. And I'm going to be honest. I don't get the musical sound exactly. The language is because of the South Indian side,
Mhm.
but I like the flow of it. I like the sound of it.
Mhm.
And I think I like what you're doing, and I think the time is now for you guys.
Yeah.
The time is
Mhm.
now for someone like you, who actually not isn't just kind of okay. Say someone like Arman Malik. Arman Malik, wants to sing a lot in English as well, and does, and
Yeah.
sings very well in English, very well. But I mean, him as a Hindi singer as well is phenomenal. I mean, he's up there. He's up there with some of the greats now of
Yeah.
Indian
It's
singing, right? But he's an Indian. You're a Canadian. So it's almost like you're coming at the game from two different angles, and it's a different
mhm.
set of challenges, is what I'm saying. And he'll have one set of challenges because he's so well known for one thing. But you've got this freedom in a way because you're coming out of Canada,
Mhm.
and like with your Tesha, you can do all that fusing with whatever. You could work with anybody, and nobody will go, yeah, but he's Indian. They'll go, no, 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 he's Canadian. Because I think they'll say that now. They wouldn't have said that 10 years ago. Do you think you've got those opportunities potentially?
I think so. Yeah, because it is actually a pretty cool thing. It's like you have a head start, but I'm also at a point where like people, not so many people know me, right? So I have this freedom, like exactly like how you said, and I can go explore whatever. And so I don't know. I'm just trying to think. It is.
In a way, what I'm saying is you've got the freedom in the nicest way to potentially get it wrong if you want to. Do you know what I mean? Like
Mhm,
it's because you can play it. It's one thing trying to maintain your number one spot, and it's another thing trying to get to the number one spot. And I
mhm,
think you are absolutely number one worthy globally, but it's like okay, but you can. If anything, what I'd want to say to you as a kind of big brother uncle figure is kind of go, oh, be free, let go, and just whatever comes out, let it come
mhm,
out. Do you know what I mean? And because you will be your story of success, whatever that thing, that sound, that thing that you find. I watched the Biggie documentary. Did you watch the things about Biggie? And they say that he comes from a jazz background, so
mhm,
his rhythm and flows, the way he goes off beat, so he doesn't just obviously and he's like, it's like da, 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 it's just his style
mhm,
mirrors that of a jazz trumpet or horn pattern where it's just on the offbeat and things like that. And I'm like, well, that cool. Can you imagine if he never learned jazz and if he never had that in him and that's way of structuring it? And can you imagine if you never had 5 different languages and all that going on before all leads up to that one album or several albums, hopefully, that you will release. So, he just got it right because he was the culmination of all those things.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think growing up in India, I think I've had the opportunity to explore the best of both worlds. So now I know what works there and what works here. Because if I had grown up here, like I was born here and grown up here, then I would have had a total different mindset. Because I would have probably been like Tesher. But right now, yeah, because it's just a different world, right? But I've had the opportunity to explore a bunch of stuff and learn a bunch of stuff from other cultures. And so, yeah, it is something exciting.
So, okay, on that culture clash, what do you go more crazy for? Like Diwali or Christmas?
I like Christmas. Since moving to Canada, it's like snowy Christmases. It is such a vibe. But Diwali for sure, it is amazing, like all the food and everything. But Christmas just hits different, it's low key, and you get gifts, expensive ones sometimes, but yeah.
What will you be doing for Christmas? What's the plans? So mom and dad will be there, right?
Yeah. So it's probably just gonna be something chill, like just be at home, or like a small getaway or something. Cook food.
Yeah,
I love cooking food. I actually want to cook for them, so we'll see how that goes.
You can handle yourself in the kitchen, can you? Yeah.
I had to. I was living alone, and then I stayed hungry for too long, and then I was like, I'm just gonna try and do it. And then right now, I can make pretty decent food, like curry and stuff.
What kind of stuff?
I like making chicken, like roast chicken, but like curry style, but like kind of South Indian. But yeah, I enjoy making that, and then rice, and then
what's the typical South Indian-y, curry chicken sort of style? What? Because something like Punjabi style, which is how I do it, is kind of it's quite sort of flash pan sort of stuff. So it's like it's onions, chilies, garlic, ginger, salt, basha, garam masala, a little bit maybe cumin. What have I missed? Tomatoes, things like that. So you got a bit of a sauce, chicken. I like to use chicken thighs because they're a bit more kind of tender than chicken breast, and you have a little bit more flavor. Maybe a couple of leg pieces, so you got some bone in there, a little bit of flavor. So I'm now picturing like South Indian. Has it got like coconut?
Yeah, sometimes we use coconut milk and stuff. We use a lot of coconut oil, and I think it's also like the mix of spices. Like when they make the masala, I think it's like the certain spices that they use that makes it different than like Punjabi food and stuff. But mostly the ingredients are the same. But if you try the food, it actually tastes super different. Like it looks the same, but it tastes so different. And there's also a lot of variety of like dishes, like even in the curry spectrum. Like it is crazy. Like to having to explore.
I love the fact that we're having this conversation. I'm so funny. I'm like, in the not so distant future, you're going to be a worldwide renowned artist, and they're going to go, and Tommy, you spoke to him about what chicken curry he likes cooking, but I actually think that the making of music. Okay, let's just draw this comparison: the making of music and the making of food, kind of similar.
Yeah, if anyone asks me what mixing in music is, I tell them it's like cooking food. Like you have all these ingredients, but you need to make a dish out of it. That's exactly what mixing in music is. Like you have all these tracks, you try to bring them together.
And it's about how much, as you know, because you deal with all the production of it as well, with all the levels and all that, how much is the ginger and the garlic going to dominate over the tomatoes and the whatever else? And it's too creamy. Oh no, you've just drowned out all the hats there with that big, whatever. So you lose the other kicks in that. And similarly, actually, now that you say that, it's quite an intimate process. If you're feeding someone, if you're making food for someone, that's an intimate thing to do. I'm making this for you, and music is similar. Because ultimately, why are you doing what you do, AJ? Why are you making music? What do you want to give people?
I I First of all, I love doing it. It makes me happy, and it gives me the passion to move forward. But I've also found this love from a lot of people, uh, and which is like crazy, to be honest, because I wouldn't have thought of it a few years ago while I was making music in my bedroom. And like I get a lot of messages, I see a lot of comments, and it's just crazy how people can like drive you forward, right? So for me at least, I love making music. I love putting it out for the people that love my music. And that's definitely something that drives me to move forward. And if I
Yeah.
can inspire them in any way, with anything I do, then that kind of gives me the joy to like, move forward.
I think that's lovely, and I think that should be the reason why anybody does anything in life.
Mhm.
Whatever work field you're in. I think it's so easy for people to want to be other people and to also just to kind of conform. And I think, I don't know. I suppose I get proud, if I'm honest. I get very proud when I see people like you, because I'm like, you're the next, on the kind of the Asian evolution, Darwin's evolution, the kind of the monkey thing. It's like if there was a people from India, then there's the people from Canada and Britain and people Australia and other parts of the world that move there, and then there's their kids, and then there's people like yourself who are like in this open world where everybody's moving around and
Mhm.
cultures all fusing and music and information and technology is all being transferred. Then you're like in this new mishmash world. So all
Mhm.
I would want to kind of say is like, look, we did our bit. This generation, we did, and where the music scene is, and now go for it. I just want to say, go for it. Like go smash
Yeah.
it, enjoy it, and
Thank
you know,
you.
and have fun with it, because I think it should always be fun, right? It should always,
Mhm.
and I think you always remember why you're doing what you do, because you clearly
Exactly.
love it. You clearly love it. And
Mhm.
I know it says a guitar there, so you're playing stuff as well as producing stuff as well, or is that just a showpiece, AJ?
No, I actually play a few instruments myself. I'm actually self-taught. I started singing from when I was young. I never took lessons because I was too lazy, and and then I've gone for lessons for like guitar and piano, but like 2 days max, and I would stop. So I actually tried learning it by myself, and then I met a lot of people who played amazing. So I would pay attention to them, and then I picked up a few instruments, so I can play the guitar, bass. I can play a little bit of drum
That's
and
amazing. That,
all
that
that.
just layers you up, man. It layers you up. Well, listen, I look forward to following your career. I look forward to hearing more from you. Just go smash it and enjoy what you're doing. And when are you? Any plans to come this way? UK, London? You coming this way?
I actually want to do a Europe trip, so I'm just trying to plan it out. Maybe next year. If anything, I'll definitely hit you up. I'm a big fan. I used to watch your interviews, and I'm like, that guy is
Yeah.
super cool. Like his
That,
energy, man. Like I wish I had that.
but
But
see, I love what I do. So I realized my wife said it. My wife goes, you talk to everyone, like everywhere we go. And I don't do it consciously, like at the tills when I'm at the supermarket, my
Mhm.
neighbors. And she's like, even when we're late, I'll be rushing in the car and I'll be like, but I've just got something to say. But that's my
Mhm.
thing. I found
Yeah.
my thing. And obviously throughout lockdown, I'm on the phone. We're on the phone. She's like, holy crap! Like you spend 20 minutes on the phone talking to someone when it's one question and you could be done and you could all, and I'm like, yeah, but where's the
That's
fun in that?
boring. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So thank you for that, because like I said, I found my thing and I'm selfishly never going to do anything else. I tried an office job. It was like a weight around my neck. It was like an
Mhm.
anchor on my soul, just pulling me down. I could like, no, I
Uh,
can't, I can't do that. So I have to do this till the
mhm.
day I die. I know I do. And look, it's
Yeah.
it's now 20 to 10 at night. The kids are asleep upstairs, but I was, we watched Home Alone, the new Home Alone version. It's
Oh.
on Disney Plus. They've
Mhm.
reversioned it. So we watched that with the kids. But in my head, I'm thinking, I'm looking forward to my podcast there, man. I'm looking forward to my chat with young blood AJ, like
Mhm.
coming through the ranks. And I've loved this. I love this kind of chat. So thank you. I've
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm super glad. I'm beyond blessed to be like on this podcast with you. Like
Get
honestly,
out of here. All right, enough now. We're not going to do this. We're not going to be like, no, you're amazing. No, you're more amazing. No, and I'll say, now when I talk to you, it's because I have spoken to some really well-established singers, music artists, Bollywood actors, and essentially they're all the same. They're all just working it out, reworking it out, trying to find the next thing to give their audiences, whether it be on cinema or in music. So everybody's the same, even with the podcast. I'm still working this daily podcast out. What am I going to do? So I'm saying that to you because I'm saying, embrace it. Embrace the kind of working out process, which I think you are, and I think you're smiling through it, which I love. So I'm sure it will go well for you. Is what I'm saying. I can feel it. All right.
Thank you, Tony.
Enjoy, and until next time, take care, AJ.
Yeah. You too. Bye. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Nice talking to you.
Wait. Before you go, I need to ask you to make sure you have hit the subscribe button and you are listening to these podcasts regularly. So if they're on YouTube, if you're watching this now, lucky you get to see my face as well as hear the voice. Please do hit the bell button and hit the subscribe thing and get involved with the whole channel so you can stay up to date with what's going on. It really does make a difference for us. We then know where our subscribers are, the kind of episodes you're listening to, and then I can give you more of that kind of stuff, more of the good stuff. You want more good stuff? Hit subscribe to this podcast right now and follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. Just go find the Tommy Sandhu podcast and welcome it into your life.